One final stand, one last battle. The enslaved army faced France's elite and won. By late 1803, the Haitian Revolution was entering its 12th year. The enslaved population had already done the impossible. They had defeated the Spanish, resisted the British, and fought the French to a standstill. Toussaint Louverture was gone, silenced by betrayal, left to die in a frozen French prison cell. But his vision lived on. His generals Dessalines, Christophe, and others were now leading the fight. And the time for negotiation had passed. Napoleon, who had ruled most of Europe, was watching his last American colony slip through his fingers. The dream of restoring Saint-Domingue to its former status as France's crown jewel was dead. His troops were starving, demoralized, and sick. Yellow fever had ravaged their ranks, and every attempt to force Haiti back into slavery only made the resistance stronger. The revolution had cost more lives than the American Revolution and the French Revolution combined. But it wasn't over. France had one last stronghold left, Cap Français, and guarding it was one of Napoleon's most experienced commanders, General Rochambeau. Brutal and unapologetic, Rochambeau wasn't just trying to win a war. He was trying to break the will of the Haitians once and for all. He reinstated terror as policy. Public executions, mass drownings, dogs trained to hunt black bodies. This was his answer to freedom. But Dessalines wasn't shaken. He knew there would be no Haiti if the French stayed. No compromise, no peace, only total independence. And that would come at Vertières. On November 18, 1803, near the northern city of Cap Français, the final battle began. French troops, well-equipped and trained, fortified their position on high ground. They had cannons, rifles, and the advantage of terrain. But what they didn't have, what they couldn't match, was the fire burning in the hearts of the Haitian fighters. Dessalines led the Haitian forces with precision and fury. His soldiers were mostly formerly enslaved men who had never received formal training, but they had survived torture, labor camps, and colonial cruelty. They had fought for over a decade. They knew the land, and they believed in the cause. One of the most remembered moments of the battle came when General François Capois, known as Capois la Mort, charged up the hill under heavy fire. His horse was shot from under him. He fell, got up, drew his sword, and continued to lead the charge on foot, shouting, En avant! Forward! Forward!" Even the French, impressed by his bravery, momentarily ceased fire and saluted him before the battle resumed. It was a brutal confrontation. The French fired cannons from the hills. The Haitians advanced through mud, blood, and smoke. Wave after wave of fighters pushed forward, many armed only with bayonets, machetes, and raw courage. They were fighting not just for territory, but for existence. Rochambeau tried everything. He ordered artillery strikes, used elite units, and called in reinforcements. But it was too late. The French army was collapsing from within. Morale was gone. Supply lines were cut, and the Haitians refused to retreat. By the end of the day, French lines were broken. Haitian flags were flying over former French positions. Rochambeau realized what Napoleon had refused to believe: they had lost Haiti. Just days later, Rochambeau negotiated surrender. He agreed to evacuate all French troops from the island in exchange for safe passage. And on January 1st, 1804, Jean-Jacques Dessalines declared the birth of a new nation, Haiti, the world's first free black republic, the first country born of a successful slave revolt. The final blow had been delivered. Vertières wasn't just a military victory. It was spiritual, symbolic, and global. It shattered the myth of European superiority. It proved that enslaved people weren't destined to stay in chains. It proved that dignity, strategy, and sacrifice could overcome empire. France's most powerful army had been defeated by the very people it had once claimed as property. And yet today, the Battle of Vertières is almost never taught in history class. You've heard of Waterloo, of Gettysburg, of Normandy. But Vertières, the battle that changed the world, it's left in silence because it didn't fit the narrative, because it was too powerful to be remembered honestly. The men and women who fought at Vertières didn't have official uniforms. They didn't have advanced weapons. They didn't have European titles or royal blood. What they had was belief, the unshakable conviction that they were human beings and that no man had the right to own another. That belief turned into action. That action turned into revolution. And that revolution gave birth to Haiti. Vertières also sent shockwaves across the globe. Slaveholders in the Americas panicked. Uprisings were feared across the Caribbean. European empires tightened their grip on other colonies, terrified that the Haitian example would spread. Because it wasn't just a battle they lost. It was the illusion of invincibility, and they never forgave Haiti for that. Haiti didn't just defeat France, it embarrassed them. It ruined Napoleon's plans for a Western empire. It forced him to sell Louisiana to the United States. It exposed the weakness of European colonizers in the face of collective resistance. The victory at Vertières wasn't celebrated by the world. It was buried. Because if the world truly acknowledged what happened on that battlefield, it would have to admit that freedom doesn't always come from law. It often comes from blood. The Haitian soldiers didn't fight for documents. They fought for life, for family, for dignity, and they won. Against the greatest odds, they won. But winning didn't mean peace. After Vertières, Haiti stood alone. No allies, no recognition from most world powers, isolated, punished, and surrounded by enemies who wanted to see it fail. France would later return not with soldiers, but with debt. And the legacy of Vertières would be rewritten, forgotten, or ignored. But in the hearts of Haitians, the battle never faded. It became sacred, a reminder of what's possible when people rise. One final stand, one last battle, a free nation born from fire and steel. If this story gave you pride, goosebumps, or even just truth you never knew, then do one thing right now. Hit the like button so more people learn the real history of Haiti. Subscribe to the channel because we're rewriting the record, one story at a time. And drop a comment with the words, Vertières forever, to honor the brave souls who made freedom a reality. And tomorrow we go deeper. In Day 7, we expose what happened after the revolution, how the world turned its back on Haiti, why countries feared a free black republic, and how racism shaped Haiti's isolation. This isn't just about history, it's about why they hated a free black nation. Don't miss it.